this is Andy, and right now I'm going to do kind of long tutorial on how to build handrails for your homemade obstacles, like my set. You can build these for anything, like off a ledge like that, over a ramp, or stairs, like I'm doing. So I'll show you how to build like a kink, like that, this kind of kink. But throughout the tutorial, I'll be building a rail like that. Just a flat handrail, but out of round rail. Alright, so there's a few things you'll need. You'll need a good hacksaw, a hammer maybe, depending, your aluminum rod. I got mine, you can get them at any hardware store pretty much. It's about $2 for like 3 feet of it. Made by Steelworks, I don't know. And then a pencil. You'll also need a drill. I don't know what size drill bit because I'm stupid. Just find one that matches the size of your rod. And I'm lucky that I have mine drilled already because my drill bit broke. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so like I said, I'll be building a flat bar, or not a flat bar, just a regular handrail. No kinks or anything like that, just out of round rail. So I just found an extra scrap that I had, and I think it's almost the right size. So, don't worry about measuring yet, like the size of your thing, just kind of bring your whole piece in. So first you need to decide how high you want it off the ground. You don't want it too high because then you won't be able to get on it, or you don't want it too low because then it'll be gay. This is about how high I have mine, which is, I think, maybe 2 inches, 2.5. So just mark it, and mark it well with the pencil because it comes off pretty easily with the pencil. You can do it with like a marker or something too, that might help. Alright, so that's the top curve. Should be a curve there. So then you can kind of go like this and say, since your rail is going to start like there. Sorry if this is really confusing. Your rail is going to start there and then stop about there. So mine is about perfect. So I'll just draw another thing here. Okay, so I don't have to cut it all. You will. So, assuming you haven't done this before, if you're watching this tutorial, or if you have extra coping or something, you'll want to cut it there so my two ends are about even. Okay, so now the bending part. Okay, so the next thing you'll need is a vise. And this is kind of hard to do with round coping because you can get the bends off, like, so it won't be even. So, you know, so one bend will be here, and then the other one will be here, and it'll look weird, and it won't work at all. So you have to be really careful to make sure your bends are lined up. And if you don't have a vise, there's another way to do this. What I did is, the first time, is you can take a drill, like the same size as this, and basically just drill a hole through a table or something you don't care about, like my workbench. This was here for the vise, so I just drilled it out a little bit bigger. And then you can just kind of shove that in there and get the bend you want. But a vise works better, so use that. Okay, so you got your vise. And take your piece of aluminum, there's my mark right there, I hope you can see it, and put it in like this, tighten the vise up, and make the edge of the vise right, like just a little below the mark. Hope you can see that. See, that's where mine is. Okay, and now make sure it's really tight, and then like hold it as low as you can and just bend it, pull it towards you. And this stuff's pretty strong, so and remember, you want to make it, for the first bend, you want to make it more than 90 degrees because it's going to be going down a handrail, if that's what you're making. Okay, so I got a really crisp bend. If you're going to do it on the table, like I showed you before, you might get more, like way more rounded bends. And you can accomplish that by, when you're about to bend it, just hold it a little higher up and you'll get a wider bend. But I like this, it's a little more realistic. Alright, and then for the second bend, which will be right there, you want to put it in same way, a little below the line. And now this part gets really tricky. So when you're looking at it, line it up so when you look at it like this, those two match up like that, because yeah, the bends have to be like exactly together. Alright, so I hope I get it right. I usually do. Helps if the thing's straight too. Alright, and then just bend it, and this should be less than 90 degrees because it's the landing part of the rail. And then, yeah, see, I didn't get it right at all the first time. You'll probably have to fine-tune the angle because I'm sure I didn't get it right. But it's pretty easy to go back and rebend it. So there. That came out pretty good. So that's just a normal handrail. And then you might, if you cut it like that, you might want to file that down. So that's that. And if you're gonna do more like kinked rails and stuff, basically just mark where you want each bend and then bend it in different directions. I will tell you that doing flat bars is a lot easier. Like with that flat bar I showed you before, I don't think I have any scrap to show you, but it's a lot easier because you don't have to line up all the bends. So let's see how it works. Alright, so I just put in my new rail. Looks pretty good. I got it pretty much exactly right, but I've been doing it for a while, so it might take you a couple tries, that's alright. So all I have to do now is drill a hole right here so I can put this in there, or I could just use sticky tape. And then you can either just sit it in there, that's what I usually do, or you could glue it in there if you want it to be permanent. But that's pretty good, so there you go. There's a tutorial on how to build rails.